right.
Well, we are officially live.
It's your kid.
Oh, now we're live.
Now we're live.
Thanks for the heads up there, Jason.
After all that.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you lounged back a little too far, Eric?
No, not yet.
You look like you're about to fall off that chair. You're so far back.
That's what it takes when you invest in a good chair. That's my reselling advice for tonight. Invest in a good office chair.
Right. That's important.
And if you can't get a Tracy Trips that steals her, she's got a very nice chair.
I pay like $200 for my chair, so.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I guess the topic tonight is Eric's chair.
Apparently.
And, I'm here with a bunch of excellent people, or awesome people, and Craig Murray, Landshark picker. And does anyone want to say anything for opening statement or anything? Or
I qualify in both of those categories.
well, that's debatable.
It's pretty easy to be awesome when you're selling free stuff, though.
That's right. You're dang right. It's been a great weekend for free stuff.
Oh yes, I've been getting the hourly updates from you, Craig. Thank you.
The first one was okay. I mean, once you said something, I had to keep busting your nose.
Oh, I know.
You just mad because you wanted a copy and didn't want to pay $50 for it. That's all.
Exactly. I told him I'd send him one.
I was starting to wonder if he worked for Microsoft's stockholder department. Kept reporting his Microsoft sales.
Yep.
How are your sales?
Terrible. Absolutely
Really?
terrible.
Are they, Eric? Really?
Yeah, really. They've been terrible. I actually had a blank yesterday, which is very rare for me. I have over 2,000 items listed.
Wow.
None. Yesterday, I usually have 10 to 15. Yesterday, I had no sales at all. That was the
I
first.
just wonder if when I have days like that, you immediately start to question whether or not you're doing the right things or not, and the pricing right or whatever. But you know what? You just kind of have to just grin and bear it. I listed 31 or 32 items yesterday. You just got to keep at it, I guess. But yeah, it's always that gut check when you don't get a sale on a day, and I usually have 5 to 7 sales a day. So I mean,
just can't let it get you down.
no, I broke out some more stuff to list, and I'll list it tomorrow. And I'm doing an auction tomorrow though, so I don't know what my day's like, but
no sales, and you show up with a cigar and a bottle of whiskey.
that's right. That always makes the day go. I'm gonna have some sales today, so that helped. But
Now, Eric, when you have a bad day like that, do you overall still you do the same every month, or do you have certain months that are stronger than others?
no, I still do overall. I average between 4,000 and 6,000 a month on eBay. So and again, it depends on the time of year. Summer months it slows down. $4,000 is pretty solid during the summer, and then as it picks up fourth quarter and all that, it gets 6, 7. I've done $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 months before. It just kind of depends on what's going on. I have to be careful not to niche myself too much, though. I do know that I need a better variety. So you have to be careful with stuff like that, because I buy it such large quantities. I'm getting ready to list record needles again. So I got to go through that. But I've been kind of bouncing between postcards, record needles, photos, slides, and I kind of bounce between those, ephemera, things like that. But I throw in tools and stuff the other day. So it just you get that punch in the gut when you don't have a sale. It's just like, what? I got 2,100 items listed. I didn't get a sale. I mean, come on. But you talk to other people, and again, it's you have to start thinking, okay, it's the first big week of school. The school's not in, so this is the weekend starting after school's out. So does that mean people are starting vacations? They're not shopping online, paying bills because of the first weekend of the month. All kinds of different reasons why they could not be shopping.
Right.
Just got to deal with it.
I see the treasure hustlers are in here, and I was wondering why they didn't have a wrench. I thought since they got 10,000 subscribers, they got wrenches to everybody's room, but I think that's been fixed by YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I only just started giving out wrenches last video. To be honest.
Oh, you give them out?
Yeah. That's usually how it works.
Okay.
Right. This is my channel, right?
They're $6.79 starting bid. 1 week auctions. Free shipping.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, it's like I know Jason's done pretty well with auctions. He doesn't really do a lot of buy it now stuff. So it's just been slow. I mean, but we talk about the summer slowdown. It is a real thing, and it's not summer slowdown. It's just because people are out doing more. It's more outdoor stuff. They're not sitting on the computer.
Yeah.
So you just got to deal with it. It's part of your business. You just know it's there. So as long as I can maintain $4,000 a month, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Right.
That'll put about $800 into my pocket every month, and that's plenty to pay my bills. May not pay somebody who lives in California like I need his bills, but
Right. That won't pay for anything here.
yeah,
I bet.
that's different. I'm comfortable with that. I don't have a house payment, so I mean that's the big deal for me. I don't pay for my house. I mean my house is paid for. So
Right.
Well, there is one positive to not having any sales. The time that you would have spent shipping, you can list items.
Oh,
That's what I was going to say. Double list.
but I typically take Saturdays for myself. Saturdays when I do my yard work, my house work, do anything I do with my cars and stuff like that. So, it's kind of nice. I don't have to do. I'm not worried that Saturday. I'm not really eBay focused. I don't ship on Saturdays. It's just that's what I've been doing forever. And maybe that's people. I don't know. I don't really care. But that's just the way I run my business. I mean, I need a day for myself, and so Saturdays typically end up being my day.
Yeah, mine is Sunday. I do pack on Sundays, but I never take. I usually hardly ever take anything to the post office. I have them all be picked up.
I don't have that option, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't?
I live where I live. It's a walking route, so I have walkers. No, they have a van. They drive. They park at the end of the street. The issue is that I go about 2 weeks and I get a new mailman. It's a training route, so I always got somebody new. So it's not worth my time, and I really like my post office. It's where my business post office box is at, so I don't worry too much about it. And it's like 2 minutes from here to drive it. So I put it as part of my daily errands. When I was really doing a lot of online buying, I would get out. I go to the post office every about 3:30. I mean, Jason's usually to hang out with me when I go to the post office, and I go to the post office. I go pick up my auction buys, and I come back, and I'm done by 4:30. Gets me out of the house a little bit too. Otherwise, I'd be
a really massive post office. A mailbox up front. Would that work at all, or no?
Yeah, I could do that. I mean, I could schedule pickups. The real issue that I worry about is a lot of times my mail doesn't get delivered till 6:30 at night.
Wow.
And so I'm worried about if they don't pick up, I'm hosed. That's much from my account for not shipping on time. And because I offer same day shipping, so I have to be careful with that.
Right.
For me, it's no big deal to go to the post office every day. I mean, even in the worst winter weather, it was still no big deal.
Yeah, mine's here really early. He's here like 8:15. He'll be here.
Wow. I'm not even up in the summertime. So
Right.
I think
I'll be about 10. So
our mail gets picked up and delivered about 12 or 1 o'clock typically in the afternoon.
If I had a very consistent same guy postman where he drove the vehicle and not a big deal, I wouldn't care. I would probably do something like that. Or if I had where they went to the box and they dropped everybody's mail off at one, like on the end of the street, then he's got time to run around and everything. But these guys are out hustling. There's days I don't get mail. And I'll get 2 deliveries the next day because they have to be done by 7 o'clock at night. That's their rules. And if they're not done, they have to finish the route the next morning before they start the route again. So those days I get 2. There's days I actually get 2 postal deliveries.
Wow.
So I just can't risk it.
We're getting feedback from somebody. I don't know who it is.
They're saying that. I saw that too.
You want to try muting one person at a time and see?
Yeah.
That'd be a good job.
I actually think it's you, Craig.
I muted myself earlier and didn't go away.
Ah, okay.
I did my own testing.
Wait, hold on. Let's mute Pat first. How's that? Is that better?
All right, talk, Pat. Everybody else talk.
It's like a kung fu movie right now. Like the 70s. So was it him?
Did it go away? No, I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it, so
I didn't hear it, so I don't know what anybody's talking. I heard a little gravelly noise in Craig's microphone, but that was about it.
My fan is
Let's ask them if do you guys still hear anything?
Yeah.
It's
Is Pat still muted?
All right, so we'll just keep Pat muted for the entire show.
Pat, Pat, turn your volume down on your speakers just a little bit.
Yeah, when mine used to do that, I turned the volume down a little bit.
Actually, how do you unmute him? I don't know how to do it.
He has
Pat
to
has to mute himself.
Pat,
Oh.
go ahead, unmute yourself.
Well, Pat will be back in a moment.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Pat, come back.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back.
It's not. Melissa says we're stuck on Pat's face. It's not stuck on Pat now.
Yeah. So
Come on back, Pat.
yeah, I wasn't hearing any feedback. I mean, it's unusual, but a lot of times we can't hear it. So
Right.
Good.
they asked me what kind of cigar I'm smoking. I'm smoking a Maceda. It's Maceda. I don't know if you can get these anywhere. My daughter actually went down to what is it, Eber City, outside of Tampa. She was on vacation down in Florida, and she went to a place and had them hand roll them for me. I typically smoke Hoyt Monterey's, things like that. So, but one of my favorites is it's actually a really cheap cigar. If he's just starting out, is I have these JC Newman. They're called, I got them right here, Trader Jack's Kicking Cigars. It's a rum cigar.
Mm-hmm.
These are really good, and they're only about $1.10 a stick. If you have to mail order them, packs of 20. They're real good. So
Pat's saying it wasn't him, that he hears it now too.
here, let me mute myself.
Yeah.
Did it go away?
All right, Pat. What about now?
You better, Pat?
He still hears it? It was my audio. I still hear some. What is he saying? It wasn't my audio.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, just try to take the volume down.
Well,
I don't think it was me. So
They're saying they don't hear it now.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, I know Anita robs her internet from the Starbucks over
Well,
there.
Pat, come back in.
There's a common thing. I know the treasure hustlers have trouble with the internet. They're all in California, right?
I never have to. I mean, I pay for really high speed internet. I mean, it's the one thing that I really pay for. I mean, with the business that's totally internet related, you got to have good internet. And I know Jason's the same way. We both pay for some pretty high speed internet in our houses. So
yeah,
I mean, I have 500 meg internet speed.
Wow.
I don't know what mine is, but I'm paying for it. It's 80.
You're paying how much for it?
80.
Oh, see, I pay $75 a month for my internet.
Yeah.
But Anita, you have that left coast internet.
Yeah, mine's AT&T.
Mine's a Wide Open West WOW internet, and I can highly recommend them as a company. They're pretty good, and I can get faster if I wanted to, but I don't really need to. I don't pay for cable. I have no cable, so I have just internet and then the different streaming services. So
Treasure Hustlers are saying they have Spectrum, and they live in California. Is Spectrum better than AT&T? I don't know if I should switch because I'm having some problems with mine too.
AT&T, do you have the fiber, the not DSL? What is it? The
I have no idea.
the TV service. I think what it's called.
it's
good. I've got
AT&T. Oh, let me see what it says.
Okay.
Oh, too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to have good internet. I mean, if you're doing this as a full time, you got to think about, how many people are on your service at any one time. I mean, I can have, let's see if I get it right. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can have 4, 5, 6 things going on my internet service at any one time.
Nice.
Between my kids and the TVs and their computers and their phones and stuff like that.
It's called Uverse.
Yeah, I can think of it. Yeah.
Uverse.
And that's and some of that in some places is fiber all the way to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Pat says he hears a bird. One of your slides didn't come alive, did they, Eric?
No.
Oh my God, I have birds. Hang on, let me get rid of them.
I was just going to what Pat said. I don't know if I wasn't hearing it.
Yeah, I have birds. Hang on.
I just couldn't resist the opportunity to say something about the slides.
Of course. I still have 2 cases of bird pictures. Those are framed original photos. I don't have any more slides. I also have a case of unframed, unsigned photos from the guy.
That was a big pickup you made at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a pickup truck, a trailer load, and another carload worth of stuff that I paid $700 for. And I've made, I don't know, $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000 off of that deal. I mean, I got my money back. I mean, I bought everything from dance silverware to, you know, cameras to slides to pictures. I mean, just
wait, wasn't that the one where you dragged your daughter out there to help you move it all?
Yeah, I had to have my daughter out there because it was crazy. I can't stand this auction company. I literally got there a half hour before pickup time. They would not let me park any closer than 4 houses down because that was the closest parking I could get, even though they had the driveway wide open. I bought about a quarter of the auction, and I was digging stuff out of the basement. And I got done at pickup time was 3 to 6, and I got done at 6:30. And they were grumpy that I was still picking up. And I'm like, well, if you'd let me park a little closer, I would have been done a whole lot faster.
Oh gosh, yeah, I've had that problem before. Remember that one time I had to like walk up a hill for like a quarter mile?
Thank God you didn't buy all those.
Oh yeah,
video discs.
all those laser discs. There were like 1,000 laser discs all wrote out. Imagine.
Yeah, craziness.
So, Pat, are you coming back in or not?
Come on, Pat.
Pat, we're waiting for you.
Pat. It's like meatballs. Remember what's his name?
Pat. He can stack.
Yeah, I do.
All right, Eric. So, Eric, I'm going to give this beer a try.
Oh, good. Jason's going to finally try. I bought him some dragon milk.
Not sure what, but oh my God, that's a lot. $204.
Abort.
That's the good stuff. Jason's going to finally try. I bought him some dragon milk. Now you got to mute your YouTube, Pat.
What's that?
There you go.
All right.
We
I
cleared.
couldn't find the link again. I didn't realize it was up further, but I was listening in. I thought I heard some birds fighting or something. I was listening really close.
They were my birds.
See, I could tell if someone is breaking in your house, whether you got birds, you got cats. If you're hiding a horse in the attic, I'll be able to tell.
That's good ears.
And we hang out with a guy pretty much all the time, and he wears headphones. He's got really super sensitive headphones, and they're like, if he was sitting there comments like, "What's this noise I'm hearing?" And it was my stomach rumbling because I hadn't eaten yet. He's like, "Go eat something, man! I can hear your stomach." I'm like, "Really? I mean, my microphone's not that sensitive." He's like, "No, it's my headphones."
Dude, this beer tastes nasty, man.
Oh, come on, drink it.
Drink it fast.
It's like 13% alcohol. It won't taste nasty very long.
Yeah.
Chug it down.
Yeah, I mean, I can taste the alcohol. It's this thing here.
Go.
It's a $20 bottle of beer, so you better drink that.
It's supposed to be preferred by the Great Beard, but I don't know.
We can put a nipple on it if you need to.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a fairly heavy beer, but it's really, really good. It's drinks more like a to me, it drinks more like a wine than it should be drinking a beer. You usually drink it in an open glass, things like that.
Oh, geez, yeah, it's like one of those hobo drinks, like night train or something back in the day. A little beer and wine mixed together.
You gotta let it breathe to get the real effect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm drinking tonight, don't you?
What are you drinking?
Water light.
Water.
Is that a light or a dark?
It's amazing. Nestle Splash.
I'm gonna click on you so I can see what that is.
Not me. I'm drinking my whiskey and smoking my cigar because I'm relaxing.
Is that flavored water?
Yeah, I'm the good boy of the bunch, Anita.
That's always the good boy.
Yeah, not always a good thing.
Yeah. Everybody knows my preferred drink is the blackberry whiskey. So,
Are you making that yourself yet?
What?
Are you making that yourself yet?
No, it's too good. It's too cheap. It's too good. It's like $19 for a bottle. I mean, it's not expensive stuff at all.
Does it help you sleep, Eric?
Oh yes.
Yes, it does.
It'll help me hit the floor if I drink too much. It'll help me hit the floor in the middle of a YouTube live video. Believe me.
Oh, I will never forget that video, man. He had to crawl over to the bathroom. It was awesome. He just all of a sudden he just like
I literally
camera,
slid
like-
out of my chair. It was that bad.
If I look for it, is the bird dog right next to the mad dog in the cooler?
No, God, no.
I'm just kidding.
If I go to the liquor cabinet, I'll pull up. No, I mean, I also, if I'm in the mood for some good black label Johnny Walker, I'll drink that too. Yeah, you'll find if you watch me enough that I put pretty much everything right in my hand, so I can pretty much grab whatever I want. But the liquor cabinet's upstairs, but I have a pretty well-established liquor cabinet. When I went down to Gatlinburg we went on vacation, Jason and I and Dusty and the bearded picker were all there. I ended up getting out of there with about 14 bottles of liquor to take home. So,
wow,
that was awesome. He's rolling up. They give him this. Because he bought so much. They give him this custom cart on wheels that he can roll into the hotel.
I'm literally, because everything was walking. I literally had to walk up this giant hill, walk across, stopped at their hotel for a while, and had to walk to my hotel, rolling this thing that had, I think, 14 bottles of liquor in it.
No, he doesn't have a problem.
No, I gave some of it away, and then I keep it because I couldn't get this at the time. I couldn't get it here. It's some sort of moonshine liquor. I can't remember what it was.
I have one right here. I mean,
Old Smoky or something like that.
The big difference is, this is more of a collectible to me. I'm not going to open it.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, here it is.
That's the habanero one. Yeah, I bought a couple of those. I gave those away because I don't like spicy. So, but they have blackberry, and it works great with lemonade. And then blood orange and chalk. I mean, it's really good stuff. I've gone through about half of it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Eric, have you ever been to Jason's warehouse?
Oh yeah.
Does he have a hidden liquor cabinet there?
He's too much for. He's got nothing but tab there.
Yeah.
I'm not really a drinker, Pat. I just just really during his late night shows. This is the only beer I even had in the house. Something there.
Is this is what allowed you to do the show?
He's not a big drinker. He just plays one on YouTube.
That's it.
I'm not a big drinker either, but I drink a lot on YouTube. That's weird.
And how often are you on YouTube?
Good, Anita. That was good.
I used to be on YouTube a lot. So I used to do a show 5 days a week. So
yeah. Those were good times too.
Yep. Those were the days. I was on the Chick Picker channel. Check it out if you like hanging out with the girls in the morning. And then Dusty and I did a show for 5 days a week, and then I was on Scott's show a couple days a week for a long time. And then my schedule stopped working out so good in the mornings, and so now I'm doing nighttime stuff again.
I know Valerie and Sally still do their show. They're still going. They've been going a little over a year.
It's been more than a year. They're going on 2 years at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a fun show. I mean, and they do long time hangouts and everything. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's great. I just couldn't do the morning stuff any while. And then Dusty decided to do a morning show, and his timing worked out a little bit better. And then when when he stopped doing it, I went to Scott. Scott took it up and started doing the Tuesday, Thursday, and I did that for 3 or 4 months. And then I just couldn't get up in the mornings because my son went to high school, and that changed the whole morning routine for me. And I just couldn't do the show because I get up at like 5:30 in the morning to get him off to school, and then I got to go back to sleep because I'm usually up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and I just couldn't stay up till 10 o'clock doing a 10 or 11 o'clock doing a show, and then try to work and do all that other stuff. So I mean, Jason knows I usually don't get online until 10:30 or so in the morning now.
Yeah.
And Eric knows I don't get to work until about 11 something. So,
yeah. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
So, Craig, tell us again about how your great free score and how much you've sold so far.
I picked up a couple of free things lately. I got a $200 elliptical that I sold. I think I got $150 for it. I got 4 copies of Windows 98. I've got a minimum of $35 for. I sold that Space Quest game. I think I got $40-something for it. But always keep an eye out for free stuff. It doesn't come along often, but when it's out there, you got to grab it.
Well, do you also drive by, like, on Sundays after all the yard sales close up?
I haven't done that. I keep an eye on Facebook and Craigslist and all that. But if you do it, you got to be quick because everybody else is doing. There's a lot of other people doing the same thing.
Oh, I bet. I mean,
I know that. I mean, I know that Jason and I were always on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and even eBay. We're shopping, looking for the hidden deals, the lots, and things like that. I mean, you know, this is the type of once you get to the point where you're going full time, where you're trying to generate $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in sales a month, you've got to constantly be out there shopping.
Right.
I mean, you're always sourcing, and it's hard to source at a thrift store to do $4,000 or $5,000 a month because you're buying individual pieces. It's better to buy in lots.
For sure.
What kind of lots do you buy from eBay?
I bought keys. I actually bought a lot of keys from a seller. Yeah, it was weird. It was a lot of keys, and I'd done a little research beforehand, and they were way underpriced. And so I paid full price for the lot. It was like $30, but I ended up selling the keys individually and I bought like 50 or 60 keys, and I sold the keys individually for like $12 or $13 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah, I spent like but they were airline keys of some sort. I can't remember. They were special keys, but I sold like 10 of them individually for like $20, and then I sold the rest to one guy. He paid me $10 a piece for the rest, and so I made like $600 or $700 off of that $40 purchase.
You know, when you say keys, the first thing I think about is Dustin's 50,000 key strand of.
Yep. Me too, Craig. Totally.
What kind of keys? Like the keys we use for our doors, or they're special?
They were small, like luggage keys or something like that, but they were airline marked, and so they were very specific keys. And I just happened to be looking at them online. I'm like, you know what? I think I can make a little bit more money. I did a little research on them and went to WorthPoint, which is very, very valuable. If you don't have WorthPoint,
I love WorthPoint.
It's something that definitely will pay off in the long run.
Right.
And found the keys were selling for $10 to $20 a piece. And I'm like, I double checked and triple checked. I'm like, you know what the hell? I'm just going to buy them. And so I bought them, and then I literally flipped them in a weekend. I got them on a Friday, got them to my house, took some photos, and I had them all sold by Monday.
Wow.
I don't know why they didn't sell for that one. Maybe they just didn't trust the listing or whatever, or maybe I just got it really right away. But I'm not going to complain about stuff like that. I mean, that's just kind of what it was.
Don't question it. You got lucky on them.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of stuff you can definitely source on eBay. I know Don, the auction professor, often buys lots of postcards on eBay because he's very into I'm just kind of getting into the postcard world. He's into the postcard world, and he'll oftentimes look at a lot and say that postcard's worth $50, and they only want $30 for the whole lot. I'll buy the whole lot, make my money off the one card, and the rest will be just gravy down the road. So I always, when I search on eBay, I look at lots a lot. Especially if I'm thinking about buying something, I'm in the mood to buy something, I'll go on eBay and check and see if there's lots. I mean, I know Jason will buy tools and stuff every now and then. You'll be able to buy a large lot of tools and know that there's more value if you break the whole thing apart and sell it by the individual piece. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're buying a lot, pay a lot price, and then individually piece it out.
Yep. I know when I was sourcing a lot on eBay, I always looked at new listings.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my search, whatever I'm looking for, and do it by, instead of newly ending soon as, I'd go with newly listed, and you can find a lot of good stuff that way that people haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I do that too, and then if I see something that they wrote as kind of like an auction, I'll ask them. There has been a time where I did ask them if I buy it today, will you end the auction because I need it today. And they have I've gotten at least 3 or 4 things that they have ended auctions on.
Right.
Some people, they that's how much they want, and if you're offering them that much, that they're okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely gotta. I mean, sourcing is not that hard, but sourcing right, it can be difficult, and that's why you always got to be out there and looking for all the different methods. Like when I go to Facebook Marketplace, I'm not looking for individual pieces. I'm looking for large lots or somebody trying to clean out. A lot of my big purchases have come from clean out sales where it's like an online auction, and they'll take a big picture and there'll be the whole thing, and they'll say, you get everything in the room, take what you want, leave what you don't. And that's the best method, because you go there and I can just sit there and pick up everything I want and I can leave the crap behind, and I'm good with that. So
have you guys ever sold stamps? Do you know anything about stamps?
I hate stamps.
Isn't there a stamp that's like an upside down
Now, 1927 upside down airmail's Jenny stamp is worth the most, but
That's all I know about stamps.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one that everybody hunts for and everything. I think it's 27, but yeah, I don't like stamps because there's so many out there. When I buy stamps, I usually get them by accident and I just throw them as a lot. I'll let somebody else go through all that.
Yeah, I have 2 huge folders full of stamps, and I have no idea what any of them are. And my dad picked them up at a yard sale, and I still haven't. They've been in this closet here for probably maybe 7, 8 months, and I haven't even looked through them.
Oh, Anita, I got a box just like that.
Yeah.
You know, totally confess. Yeah.
And
it has, and it's like a folder, and it has spaces for the specific stamps, and some of them are on there, and some of them are not, but most of them are on it.
Yeah, I don't like to mess with. It's just like coins. Coins are the same way. It's condition, it's rarity, and I don't want to invest the time to learn stamps. I've never been interested. My brother was a stamp collector. I have never been a stamp collector. I was a coin collector at one time, but I don't even mess with that because to me, coins are either worth scrap or they're worth a lot of money, and I don't buy them because the market for those is so competitive. You can't get a good deal on a coin at an auction. Yeah, the gold stamps are not worth a whole lot either way. I usually get those for like $5 an album, and I sell them for like $20 an album when I get them. They're just not worth a whole lot.
And at least with stamps, if they're not used, they always have their face value.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of times you get 1 cent and 2 cent stamps. They're not really worth a whole lot.
No, but I collected some stamps back 20 years ago when they did those series of like the best of the 60s. They made like nostalgia, like the 70s. They did the 50s, the 40s, and they did all like the 170s was like Archie Bunker, and they had little booklets that you could put them in.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, stamps are great. They're great for teaching a kid to collect. That's the way I look at stamps. Stamps are a perfect kid collector starting thing. You can get them cheap.
Yeah.
Right.
Give them to a kid, a 10-year-old or 11-year-old kid that gets into them and wants to do because it's kind of interesting research.
Right. To look for them.
I don't have time for that. I'm just not interested. To me, to collect something, I gotta have some passion about it. Stamps drive me nuts.
I have a sheet of air stamps. They did a lottery. It was probably about 25 years ago, and you had to send in a postcard, and they did a lottery type thing, and I got it in the. I actually won, and I got it in the mail. I looked them up actually. I forgot about them until you guys just brought the subject up. But a couple of years ago, I looked them up on eBay, and it was like worth $25, $30 because there was only like so many of those stamps.
Yeah, I mean, there's good money in it. I mean, there's money in everything. I mean, let's be honest. You can sell
everything. There's a collector.
Sell toilet paper tubes for God's sakes and make money on it if you really want to. But
That's true.
Is the money worth your time? That's what it always boils down to. Is the money worth your time? And stamps aren't worth my time.
No,
and you can only learn so much about so many things. You know.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder, probably 30 years down the road, if stamps will even be something that's out there, to be honest. I
think stamps will get more valuable down the road because people are using less and less of them, so you're seeing less and less in circulation. So I think yes, eventually stamps will become an interesting collectible. But you got to, now's the time to buy stamps and start putting them away and then hanging on to them, throw them in a tub in the closet, and every time you buy stamps, just throw them in there. Don't even look at them until you're ready to retire or something. Then maybe you might have something.
I mean, I wonder if the post. I mean, someone I was talking the other day was talking about maybe Amazon taking over the post office responsibilities and the way that things are. I don't know. Like I said, 30 years down the road, if normal people are going to really use stamps. I mean, look at the kids today. Everything is text and messaging and through your phone and email, and it's going to be interesting to see to be down the road and look back and say, wow.
I can see UPS and FedEx and whoever taking over the parcel post, the boxes and everything, and papers, just letters and stuff is probably going to be a thing of the past. It's all going to be done electronic.
Yeah, I mean that's a possibility.
I feel the same kind of way about currency, money, paper money, change. It won't be long before that goes away, in my opinion.
I'll tell you, man, I don't even keep really cash in my wallet anymore, you know?
Right.
I don't think you're totally fully see that though, because you have an underground economy that likes to deal in cash, and I think there's always going to be certain segment of the population that's just not going to trust computers and trust the digital currency and stuff like that, and there's too many ways to hack it. I think it was a couple years ago, like Jim Cramer was talking about that. I mean, they're, you know, when they were coming out with Bitcoin and things like that, that, you know, there's a whole, I mean, there are some people that won't even open bank accounts that still will go to the post office and spend the 75 cents or the dollar to buy a money order because they just won't open a bank account because they just are, you know, everybody's watching them or stuff like that.
I'm surprised the amount of people that buy postal money. When I go to the post office, there's usually 2 or 3 people in line buying postal money orders.
I know.
And they're paying bills with it. You see they got the envelope, they got to pay the bill, they got to send the money order in.
Yeah.
And it's the electric bill or the gas bill or something like that. I mean, I see the bill they're paying with it. I'm just like, I do all that stuff online. Every month, I literally, I mean, I kid you not, I write down my bills every month on a little notebook. And what am I going to pay? When's it due? And then that's how I control my budget.
Yeah.
But I do it all electronically. I don't pay anything through the mail.
Right. Most of mine are on auto pay too, where they just take it straight out of the bank.
I've had 2 situations lately, and it's driven me crazy. They say, "Can you write me a check for what?" It was paying something. It wasn't a bill, but it was something we owed somebody some money for. Can you write me a check? I'm like, I'm gonna have to go to the bank and buy a check so I can write you a check.
What's a check?
I had to teach my 30-year-old daughter about 5 years ago how to write a check. Because she's so ingrained into paying everything online, she'd never written a check.
Yeah. And a lot of people are, if it's big over a certain amount, you got to go to the bank and get a cashier's check, which then is, you know, guaranteed money. You know, if you're going to sell a car, don't take a regular check because it could bounce.
Right.
And you're going to go through the legal system to try to get the car even back. But if you get a cashier's check, but I've been in line at the post office and I've heard people, and you can't get a money order, I think, for $1,000. So you'll get
there's a limit.
Yeah, I've seen people pay like $800-900 and get 3 or 4 money orders just to pay one thing.
Yeah. What's funny is one of my local estate sale companies, they don't do any type of credit card or any type of electronic payment. They want cash or a regular check.
Wow.
It's like, really? I mean, I would spend 3 times as much money with you if you would take my PayPal card. But they don't want to do it. I take PayPal, for God's sake. I mean, I have the little square.
Just as a reference point, you have to use stamps when you send letters to jail or prisons. Just make sure everybody knows that.
Treasure Hustlers has some interesting.
Don't write the people in jail.
Did you guys see that Facebook is working on some sort of digital currency to do online?
Mm-hmm.
They better be careful of that because Facebook's stepping into the world of banking and currency, and they're going to get broken up if they really go too far into some of that stuff. So
yeah, they announced something this week that they're close to working something out on. I think because of them doing marketplace and the interaction with all the people, they want to cut of that little bit, and I think because people get disgusted with Facebook, with the drama, they're just kind of trying to create anything to keep people on their platform. That you have to be on there because of the connections that they're making with things.
I used to be big on Craigslist, and Craigslist just isn't as good anymore as Marketplace. I mean, the prices are cheaper. There's more volume out there. I just like shopping Marketplace more. Now, I haven't bought a whole lot off of there because it's not my real model, but I mean, I've made a few deals on there. Yeah, less than I've made on Craigslist, that's for certain.
I think eventually our fingerprints are going to be the way we pay for things. They're going to say, okay, here, let's order, or then they're going to scan our face. How much is it? $300. Okay, come closer, scan our faces.
You know, PayPal is using that technology now. Where it reads my thumbprint on the phone.
Right. Then eventually, that's in a few more years. Eventually, that's probably going to be the way that we pay for things.
Has anybody noticed the new PayPal checkout option, or the checkout option when you go to eBay now? Has anybody seen that?
What's that?
Where if you go to eBay to pay your bill,
Mhm.
and some people do this, some people don't. It used to give you an option when you go to eBay and you would hit pay my bill, it would pop up and say, how do you know, it would send you to PayPal to pay your bill.
Right.
Nowadays it goes right through eBay. It doesn't give you the option. And a lot of people like to use the credit options, the PayPal credit and things like that. It doesn't let you do that now unless you go and select PayPal credit before you even get into eBay.
Yeah, it asked me the other day if I want to use my bank account or use my PayPal balance. But
Right.
I noticed on when I'm doing my shipping supplies for me, they won't take PayPal no more.
Because they're using the new payment processor.
Yeah.
It was definitely weird. I mean, because I'll use, like I said, every now and then I'll use PayPal credit to pay my eBay bill, so I can stretch that payment out a little bit, especially if it's been like a slow week or something like that. Not very often, but I just like, oh, that was very odd that suddenly you have to kind of go to PayPal first to set your whole account up to be able to do that. It used to kick you over to eBay, then you'd have select way different ways to pay, PayPal credit, or maybe you have different credit cards on your PayPal account. Nowadays it's PayPal, and then whatever your preferred method is set up, you have to do it that way. It was just interesting.
Yeah, it's called Jay's Folly because I went to pay my eBay bill today, and it was like $2,000, and I hit the button. I figured it would give me options, and it just went right to PayPal and paid it.
Gone.
And then it said payment sent.
Like, okay.
You know, I come out your fingerprint and all that. I'm surprised that we haven't had the ability to store like your credit card information on your driver's license.
Right.
You know, your driver's license has a magnetic strip on it too, or most of them do. And everybody's got to be required. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was something that you didn't have to remember 20 passwords, that you could somehow get a code and put it on it, like carry a little portable flash drive around, and then you would plug it in, maybe just use a 4-digit code, and it would know. I have to keep a notebook of all these different
Me too. Me too. You have to add one capital letter, one small letter, and then some other symbols.
You know, there's some really powerful.
Forget, and then you try to put the same one. It'll say you've already used that one. Use a different one. Now another one to remember.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty good because I use like 3 or 4 main passwords, but they're like 15 to 20 digits long, but it's stuff that I can remember. So I'm not too worried about that. I had my eBay account hacked about 2 years ago. And they went in and they tried to buy iPhones, and then I was able to shut that whole thing down. They didn't get any of my PayPal money or anything like that. Nothing went through. And I thought I had it all shut down, changed all my passwords, and then I went to buy some shipping supplies and realized that they'd actually changed my address. So I almost shipped them my shipping supplies because I didn't realize they changed my home address, and eBay didn't even catch it. So it was just kind of interesting. So.
Treasure hustlers are saying mine are written on my computer. Don't do that. What if your computer crashes?
Well, I'm lucky. I use Google Chrome, and Google Chrome saves a lot of things. And what's nice about it is I have it set up so that it transfers. If I sign into Google, it'll transfer all my passwords over. So, like, I have a tablet that if I sign into Google, all my passwords are right there.
Well, Eric, though, it's saved in the cloud then, right?
Yeah, it's saved in the cloud. I don't worry about it. I mean, believe me, nobody's going to steal a whole lot of money from me because, I mean, that's just not the way I operate. So
that's how a lot of celebrities got burnt with their cell phones by backing up on the cloud. There's just got to be an easier way, and with all the technologies out there, there's got to be something that these companies could come up with that's, have an encrypted little drive or something that is thin that you could carry, and even if someone found it and punch it in, they would have to know a certain, maybe one password or a code that would activate it to bounce off.
There used to be, back in the early 2000s, there used to be companies that would do that, would give you a flash drive with a password on it, and that was the key to your system. But people just didn't get into it because you had to carry around a physical item as well.
Yeah. Did you see what Treasure Hustler said? No, they have it written on their computer with a Sharpie.
I remember doing shows with Dusty, and he would pan his camera around and everything, and if he wasn't careful, he had like this yellow sticky pad that had all those passwords, and every now and then he'd flash. It's like, oh crap, I can't show that. And
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better just to keep it in your iCloud and then also just have it written down somewhere just in case.
Yeah.
Mine are, well, you know, they say don't use the same one on everything. Yeah, either just have, you know, more than just a few of them. Don't use the same one on everything that you put a password on.
You steal my password, you can have access to every one of my credit cards. And if you want to pay my bills, I'm more than happy. I'll give you the password for those. So
Can you put that password in the chat, please?
yeah.
Yeah,
I was using the same password on PayPal for 15 years,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden last week I was trying to do it on my phone, and
You
I don't
can't.
know if the fat finger was hitting the wrong keys, but it kept on kicking. So they made me change the password. Now I keep typing the old password, and it wants. Oh no, that's not your password no more. So I have to write it down somewhere and now try to memorize that one.
Just see me after start. I'll get you your password.
And you know, it's probably some kind of glitch. I think you were putting in the right password. It just wasn't taking it. I've had that happen too. And I just and try it again in a few hours or the next day, and it goes through. That happened a few times with my bank.
Well, that's the problem. Even with some, what happens is if you have like I have an iPad and then an Android phone, and they do things different. And you know, when I trade the stock market, I have to make sure I have the one device. If I have to do something quickly, I have to do it there because it will remember my account number, and then all I have to do is enter the password. But if I try to go on the other device, it's like 15 minutes to get into an account, and by then I could lose money, you know.
And then it'll ask you, "Is it you?" Go on your phone into Google and press yes.
I like the fact that I have to put a password in to pay my bills, though. Like my electric bill and my light bill. Like, oh, is somebody else going to get in here and pay this bill? I'd be more than happy if they would, but
Yeah.
I don't like pulling up to a gas pump and swiping my card and sometimes not having to put anything in.
No, I think the worst is when it asks you for your zip code, because then I have to think, wait, is my card tied to my business address or the house address?
If you have to switch accounts, yeah. If you have to switch
my business
accounts,
address has a different zip than my house address. So
Well, that's how they know. That's how they know then. Because we get gas all the time on the card, and we have 2 mailing addresses. And the one day I hit that, and I'm like, oh man, I don't have no cash, so I better get this number right because I'm going to be stuck there at the gas station with no gas.
Right.
well, I like that. Okay, if somebody steals my wallet and they use my cards to get gas, all I got to do is look at my driver's license and there's the zip code, so it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Yeah, they got to have your wallet, obviously, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just not as secure as I think it should be.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, wallet secure. I've never lost my wallet. You know, knock on wood.
I used to have people all the time leave their credit card, cell phone, and car keys at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And the car keys always puzzled me because I'm like, how the hell did they drive off?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh
Well,
man,
I don't. I keep most of my credit cards at home. I don't carry my credit cards with me, so
I've never lost
save myself from making some bad mistakes down the road. So
I did a brilliant one just 2 weeks ago. I pull up to the ATM at my bank and I decide, oh, you know what? I don't feel like going in. Let me do the deposit through the ATM. So I do the deposit and then I drive off and I forgot the card.
Mhm.
So I realized it like because I was going to the gas station, which was like the next store over. Then I circle back and no card. So when they're like, yeah, it gets shredded after you don't pick it up after X amount of seconds.
Really?
So I had to get a whole new card, and then of course you had to get a whole new set of passwords or you know whatever.
what's worse is when you get a new card with a new expiration date, then you got to go through everything where you have that card saved
Right.
online to pay bills.
Exactly. That was the big problem because it was my business card.
Yeah.
I had to change everything.
A
You
lot
have
of
to put it everywhere that you've used that card and then change it everywhere.
Mhm.
a lot of the ATMs here are getting to the point where if you're getting money out, it will give you a card back first.
Mhm.
You have to take your name to even get the cash
The
out.
last few ones I've been to, it says you have to pull your card out before it gives you the cash.
Right.
Yeah, see, my problem was I was doing a deposit and then I hit email receipt, so I wasn't getting anything back. So that's why it didn't dawn on me, I guess.
Apparently.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. Quit going and deposit money in the ATM. I'll send you a bunch of deposit slips.
Deposit slips.
You,
So you don't even have to write your account number on them. That's already pre-printed.
yeah.
Oh, you're the best.
Do we maybe have to check in on Craig? I think there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, I think the nursing home picks you up soon, don't they, Craig?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, what time are you supposed to go? What time's bedtime there?
I've got the keys to the lights.
Oh.
Stay up late tonight.
Oh, okay.
It always looks like that angle there, Craig, like you're like in a janitor's closet. Like you got a cleaning bucket behind you, you got Windex.
That's where all my stuff is that I clean up with.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, see, Craig's in his office, working office. I'm in my working office. Pat's got his rainbow brick background. Jason's got his collection there, and Eve's got her flowers. I mean,
yeah, my collection is actually, it goes a lot higher. There you go. There's some of the collection right there.
Nice.
It's a whole bunch of like vintage PC games.
what you can't see to Jason's left is a bunch of vintage computers. So,
oh, tons of them.
Wait till you see the video I posted that I made with Jason. I was working on it earlier today, but the audio was acting up. And sometimes what happens is you got to take it back. You'll get it all ready, and for some reason the audio didn't transfer over to the software. So now I had to take it back out and have to. That's what I'm running into when I'm doing some of the footage on the camera. It's not dating it. It gives it a number, but it doesn't put it in the order that even it mixes it up in there. It don't even like put it in the chronological order of the date that you record it. So sometimes you're going through and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm missing something. And then you got 125 files in there. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So whenever I break out because I use like a faux pro. I mean, it's not a GoPro, but it's like the Akaza, I think is what the brand I use. I always format the card before I do any type of video, so there's nothing on the card when I do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to transfer some of those over to I've had a terabyte backup probably in my office basement for 3 years. So I just opened it the other day because with all this YouTube footage, my hard drive was at like 98% full. And so then I started transferring some of. It's amazing how much YouTube, when you have these videos, how much space it can eat up on your computer.
Do you delete all your source files after you've uploaded it to YouTube?
No. In other words, I always keep a backup that if something gets lost on YouTube, if a video went down, I can always pull one. I have backups of all the videos.
But then if you have everything there, doesn't it take longer for the next video to upload?
No, that doesn't affect it.
It doesn't affect it?
No.
It's kind of funny. I actually don't even have a hard drive in my computer because I do a lot of gaming. So it's actually just a little chip that's installed on the motherboard. I forget what the heck it's called.
SSD.
No, it's something else. Newer technology than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I've got an SSD. I've got an SSD and a regular one. Then I've got a 3 terabyte and a 2 terabyte backup drives as well. So. But my SSD is only like 200 gigs, so I don't keep a whole lot on there. It gets put into storage and things like that. So I don't save any of my pictures. I used to be the save every picture I took for eBay and save them in a file and date them. So if something happened, I could go back and get and I was just like, you know what, I can always retake pictures if I need to.
Yeah, I got some photos that, and I haven't made one in a while because I don't know how to use the OBS 100%. Like I saw Jason did one that was nice because, he was in the bottom and then he was able to do the OBS and show his stuff sold. So the ones that I've made, I used the pictures and then I just put the graphics over it, sold for X amount,
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I.
Yeah. When I do what I sold video, I use Screencast-O-Matic.
Yeah, that's what I use.
And that one's it's very inexpensive. It's like $15 a year or something like that, and it's very user friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Screencast-O-Matic?
Yeah, Screencast-O-Matic. It's very user friendly.
I've seen
it's great for doing a video with putting your picture down and then showing what's on your screen. And all you got to do really is kind of set up your screens beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Like I'll go through my solds and I'll drop a bunch of of links of what I'll go through my orders, and then I'll just put a window up so I can adjust them as well to show, so I don't show the I don't show the seller's the buyer's name and all that stuff. So that way I can just kind of click and close through those really fast, and it's actually really nice. It's great for doing screen capture type videos.
And it takes out like the background noise, makes it really clear.
Well, the problem I had is when I was doing what I sold on eBay, a lot of the stuff that I do is just machine parts. So it's like you can't really sit there in a video and focus on individual part after individual part. People will get bored to death. So it's nice to just scroll through it real quick, Yeah,
the one video we did, I think people like that a lot better because we just kind of scrolled through our solds, and it was actually a lot faster than doing a screen capture, and it was more interesting. But I have a tendency to ramble on about what I bought and sold. So I tell the background about it, where I bought it, how much I paid for it, things like that. So it's
but I actually when Jason was doing it and you guys were talking, I kind of liked it because you learn from it. I mean, if someone's showing a pair of pants, I bought a pair of jeans and sold for $15. There's really not much discussion to have about those. When you're talking like you guys bought that box of those small Civil War things for guns.
Yep.
I didn't. From the picture, you didn't know what the heck that was. So that was kind of neat to learn about those items. That's why I don't do a whole lot of sold. But yeah, I try to do one once in a while because then you got people on there. Oh, he's probably not even selling nothing, or what? Yeah, what's he? So it's kind of just to say, hey, look, I do sell things, and this is what I'm selling, and this is what we sold it for.
Sure. I mean, it ends up actually the gun stuff. We're just looking before, me and Erica. I ended up doing 6,500 so far, and I still have quite a bit left.
Wow.
So
$6,500 or 6,500 items?
$6,500.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I ended up paying just over $1,000 for that lot. So
yeah.
I mean, it's not free stuff like Craig. I'm not that genius, but
you made $6,500 on like what, 6 items?
That was we put what, 900 for that box?
It was $965 plus I think it was 15%.
So it's just about $1,100 for the whole thing. So 6,500 plus. We figure there's maybe another $1,500 worth of sales left in it.
Wow. At least. I mean, geez, there's a lot of duplicates that's just going to take me a while to burn through.
But you're in a great area for that kind of stuff, right?
I mean, I don't see it that often. I mean, some of it's even like Revolutionary War pieces. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, but that was a unique, and that was one of those things where they didn't know what they had either.
Right. It has to be because if they
it was a box of wrenches. That's all they basically had it set up as, and only a few people realized what it was and what it was really worth.
So you wonder if they were thinking, hey, we got a sucker here. He just paid us $900 for this.
I know. Seriously, probably.
Yeah.
Yes, we scored.
Because actually, on a lot of the individual pieces, there were little price tags like $4, $6, like it was at like a garage sale or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean that, and I think the most 400 was the most expensive piece.
So far, yeah, 400.
So two of those items for $400 a piece. I mean, so that's $800 in 2 items. So I mean that's kind of what's really nice about it is when you can buy in a lot and end up getting 2 or 3 pieces that pay for the entire thing, and then you're just golden at that point. I mean, that whole auction you spent like $4,000.
Yeah, and I got a lot of great stuff out of that auction. That was
I mean you've made, I don't know, 10 or 12 grand out of that auction. So
easy, yeah. That was a good deal. That was an online auction too, so it was nice. I'm sitting here in my little chair, laid back, just bidding. That's the kind of auctions I like.
I love those auctions.
Yeah, one of the first auctions I did online. I don't like the soft close or whatever they call it. You get that bid in the last couple of minutes. I'm like, I had 3 lots I was watching. I'm like, I'm gonna bid on these. I'll be done in 30 minutes. It was like 3 hours later.
Mm-hmm. Well, that key, we talk about Dusty's keys. That was an online auction, and that literally was like one of the last lots of the auction because it just kept going back and forth between him and another guy, and it was a 5-minute soft close. And every time somebody would bid, they'd always bid in the last second, so it add 5 minutes to it. And then we'd take like 4 minutes and sit there and do more research. And okay, you can spend this much and make money, and just kind of kept going. and it was starting to get uncomfortable because, you know, you're buying 50,000 keys. You have no idea really what the true value was. And
I hate
ended
those
up being,
when they had time.
yeah, the time actually helped because, I mean, I think at one point he was happy at $300 and it I ended up getting, I think, the whole lot for like $550 or $600 total or something like that. But it was $5 at a time. It was crazy. But it was a good sale. I mean, I don't know, I made $4 or $5 grand off of that. Plus the YouTube video, which probably brought him, you know, a couple $1,000 in YouTube, you know, money as well. So
I remember watching that video of him in the back of the truck, the flatbed doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, but that's the weird stuff. You got to look out for the odd, strange things. I mean, where I bought 50,000 keys, I don't know. I don't know if I would have done that or not. That was interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I would have either.
I mean, that was a lot of work. There was a lot of work involved with that one, but
not that much. He made Tristan carry it all.
Yeah, it's true. He made Tristan do most of the carrying. So,
but he was like separating them into buckets or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, eventually that's what they had to do. They had to separate them into buckets, and then he did further separation into type, and then whether it was vehicle, whether it was house, and then brands. I mean, it just went crazy. I think he still has a few left, but not many.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, think about that. It took him 2 years to sell through the majority of those. But I mean, he got his money back 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks max, and he had all his money back.
That's always nice, especially on a big purchase like that.
Yeah, I mean that's the. I mean, if you haven't checked Alabama Pickers, check out the video. You have to go back about 2 years, but I bought 50,000 keys. It's an interesting video, and it's weird. Apparently, the guy had been collecting keys for like 30 years, and he would string them on a big spool of wire and had it in there. And Dusty tried to buy it many times, but the guy finally passed away, and they sold off everything he had. So.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting deal.
What about storage lockers? Do you guys buy storage lockers?
Jason's bought a few. I bought a couple. We're kind of got an eye on a couple in the future here. So you buying the right ones. That's the key. Because we do them online. I don't go to the storage units. For my area online sucks. I mean, there's just no other word for it. They just suck online. I mean, Jason's seen my, when I pull up and we share the screen, there's just nothing worth buying here online for the most part.
It's abysmal.
It's pathetic. If I go in right now and I pulled up storagetreasures.com and I put in my zip code by 100 miles, I would literally get a page and a half of storage auctions. Wow. If Jason does it for 50 miles, he get like 5 or 6 pages of storage units. I mean, they're crazy there, and they're good. They're all good units, and they go for thousands.
Yeah. And they don't have like the kinds of auctions where you can go there and see it yourself.
Most of mine are live, and I think that's what really is the big difference between mine and his area. I think Jason's, most of his are online, whereas mine are mostly live. I haven't done that many live ones, mainly because I don't really need to. I have a method to get rid of everything because I do online auctions out of my own garage even. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm too busy trying to sell through my back stock and get it all listed. I don't need to go out and buy a 10 by 20 worth of stuff. I got enough stuff already. So
yeah, I think I'm up at about maybe 6 units so far. I think 3 were high dollar and 2 were low dollar.
I don't think you've had a unit less than $1,500 though. I don't think you bought a unit less than $1,500.
Wow.
No, I had 1 or 2 that were cheap. I know that there were 2 sneaker units at $3,000, and then there was that model unit at that was about $3,000 too. And
you
then
had the gold unit that ended up being $1,500.
That was $800.
I thought it was $1,500 for that.
No, that unit was $800.
Oh, okay.
And then I think it was for 3, and then just $100.
I never bought it storage units.
Yeah, you can't buy storage units in Jason's area for a couple $100.
I mean, you can, but they just, I don't know, they look junky. I'm the kind of buyer that likes to buy collections of stuff. So if I see some kind of collection, like I bid really aggressively on like the sneaker collection ones, you know, that's how I like to buy large quantities of collections, individual type.
Yeah, it's amazing in New York City. Jason's close enough that he can buy out of New York City, so that gives you an idea where he's at. The sneaker collections are just fascinating. You got guys that will collect all the Nikes, the LeBrons, and all that type of stuff, the high dollar sneakers, and they'll put them in a storage unit and they'll lose their unit. It's amazing. I mean, you bought a couple of sneaker units that had 150, 200 pairs of sneakers in them.
Yeah, they were awesome. And I still have one of them. I still have all the clothing from.
And it's good clothing. It's not bad clothing. It's all Nike and Reebok, and it's nice thing is it's large sizes. I mean, it's just a matter of getting to that stuff.
And it's clean too. Like it's all been like cleaned and folded. It smells nice. I mean, it's crazy. So, but I'll get to it one day, you know.
But I tell you, if you buy storage units, be surprised at how much stuff you get.
Yeah.
and then storage unit holds a lot more than you think it does.
And then be ready to take it all out.
Yeah, you got a couple days to get it all out. It's tough. I mean, my own storage unit. I had a storage unit for a year, and I stored overstock in it, and it took me 7 van loads to get the stuff out.
Wow.
And I didn't realize I had that much stuff in there. So.
What about you, Pat? Are you thinking of getting any storage units?
Yeah, I bought one last month. It had clothes, toys, and shoes. But I'll be honest, I only paid $40 for it, and I did it more for the YouTube video.
What else did it have in it, Pat?
Mannequin heads.
What else?
Oh, he's keeping secrets.
A bucket of paint that wasn't closed all the way.
No, actually, you know what happened was that bucket of paint came from somewhere else that day. That I was showing a property that we rented a month ago, and the maintenance man was supposed to pick that stuff up, and the lady was complaining that it wasn't picked up yet, and she said she had a birthday party. So I said, "Oh, okay, I'll pick it up," and I picked it up right before I went to the couple buckets. Some of it had to go in the dumpster. So I went to go dump this stuff in a dumpster where I can dump it. And I open up the back of the car and there's paint all over. And then I'm going to the auction next. I was like, oh, I mean, it was a 5-gallon bucket, but probably about 1.5 gallons got all over the back of the car. And what a mess.
Wow.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad. I saw it in person.
It sucks because my son had taken out we had a rubber mat in the back there, but we were the car, to be honest, the car gets used hard. It kind of gets used as a van and a truck. It got like 190,000 miles on it, but now the car, to be honest, I tried to spray that out at a car wash and I got a lot of it out, but there's so much moisture in the car that has a mildewy, moldy smell. So now that the weather's been nice, we're kind of keeping the car outside. The windows are
out. Yeah, soil air out, right?
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much stuff I'm going. I found down by Philly. I found a storage unit, banana storage or something like that. So I get good deals down there. So a couple pieces of rotten fruit, but I take that with the good stuff.
You can't go down there and cherry pick though.
No, I don't cherry pick nothing. I try to mind my own business, and all of a sudden the owners just here, take this. Here's the keys, and I'm like, okay.
Pat, come back tomorrow. I'm telling you.
Tomorrow, I'm going to get up. I actually got to get up early. I was going to go to the flea market today, but it was so beautiful that me and my wife went to New York, and we went to Orange County Choppers and Paul Jr. Designs. And then, so I said, you know what? I have a meeting tomorrow with a group of eBay and Amazon resellers in the afternoon. So I said, I'm going to hit the flea market. I'm coming down to the Lehigh Valley tomorrow. So I'm going to hit the flea market before I go to the reselling. All these people are strangers. I've never met them before. So, introduce myself and talk about some of the stuff and see if anyone wants to come and do interviews. And, I have business cards made up and trying to always network and expand and learn from people.
Let's see what it looks like, your cards.
Oh, yeah, I'll show you. I'll just make sure my thumb is over my phone number. Can you see it?
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. So, follow us on YouTube and clean outs. And what happened was years ago when I had the restaurant, I used to have a little side business. and I used to do cleanups. And I actually would charge people to clean out their storage unit and would make money and get stuff for free. And I ran into the guy recently, and I said, "Hey, I'm kind of like interested in doing that." He goes, "Oh my God, I threw that card away. I had it here for years, and I wondered where you went because the number didn't work no more." And he goes, "Yeah, get some cards made up and drop them off." And the only problem is now I gave my card to someone at the flea market the other day, and then they're calling you within a day. Hey, come and buy my junk at 50% off. And it's like, look, I'm not looking to fix your mistakes. If I'm gonna buy stuff, I want to get the better deal. And I don't care if they lose money. If it comes down to it, I'm not there to kind of increase their cash flow. I'm trying to make money too.
Right. You're there for yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to be kind of cutthroat in this business. I mean, you have to buy it right. I mean, you can't always bail somebody out. Sometimes but you'd be surprised. Make an offer on stuff. I mean, that's the key. I mean, don't be afraid to sit there and say, you know what, I'll give you a couple $100 for what you got just to get you out of the deal. I mean, and you'd be surprised. I mean, if you're the only guy making that offer, you might get the stuff. I mean, I got a guy I'm working with right now. I'm trying to buy a bunch of stuff from him, but he knows eBay. He knows the value of this stuff. So I count on the fact that he's not going to get to it anytime soon. So I'm throwing offers out at him, trying to buy all this stuff. And it's a lot of strange and weird stuff. So I'm hoping I can make a deal with him on it. But if I don't, I don't, but I know what he paid for everything. That's the key right there too. I also know what he got into it.
That's an advantage.
I might offer him $400 or $500 for everything that I know he only paid $200 for. And I also know his wife doesn't like all the stuff in the house. So you got to take advantage of the knowledge out there. Don't be afraid to insult somebody with an offer, because you know what? You never know they're going to take it.
Well, the guy called me, and I told him today, I said, look, send me pictures, tell me what you're asking. And then he started, well, I'm giving you 50% off of what it could sold for. I said, look, until I see, and I looked at real quick, like one of the examples is he wants to sell me a VCR, and I don't even know, I don't think it was new. He wants to sell me a used VCR for $30. Well, I'm not interested. I mean, to be honest, I could pick up used VCRs a lot of times for $5. Then I could sell them for 25 or 30. When you if you're going to buy it for 30, how much are you going to make? You're not going to make too much. I mean, I know people say, oh, they sell for 75 online. Yeah, but when you look at the comps and you do an average.
Well, I mean, nobody looks at what they actually sell for. They always look at what people are asking for them. And there's always somebody out there asking a crazy price of, I always say that's the guy that's got his whole collection that he doesn't want to sell, but he has to tell his spouse that, oh, they're on eBay, I'm trying to sell them, but nobody will give me what they're worth, because you're asking too much money. But that way he gets to say, I'm trying to sell it, but I get to keep my collection at that point too.
Right. Right. And then too, I love people that always want to give the one or two. You could have something in sales like 20 of, and they always give 2 of the top sales. Yeah, someone's mentioning on the side of the road, Pat. Yeah, you're right. I last weekend when I left the warehouse, someone called me up and said, "Hey, Pat, I got all these VHS movies if you want them." I said, "Okay, no problem." I said, "But I'm running late." They said, "Don't worry about it. We'll have some boxes outside, and I think my husband's going to be there." Well, I come to this neighborhood, and I see all this stuff on the road. I'm thinking it's not garbage day. And the lady tells me, she goes, "No, we had a community yard sale. She goes, anything that's left at the end of the road, you can have." Well, I go around that community and I picked. Now, I didn't just grab things to grab them. I grabbed things that I felt that I could sell. The one house, I was kind of nervous. I went and knocked on. They had so much good stuff out along the road. I went and knocked on their door, and I said to the guy, I said, "Hey, I see, He goes, "Oh no, whatever you want. My daughter told us to put it out. And she says, I don't want it back in the house." And I said, "Oh, okay." But I got a VCR, a brand new, not brand new. I got a nice VCR with a remote control for free. And I only glanced at your card, but I'm curious. Paul Turner's asking me, I'm glanced at your card, but I'm curious if you're marketing yourself as a YouTuber or a reseller. Both.
I say both. I mean, just to give, Pat props. Pat is a great interviewer, and he loves doing the interview process side of it. But he's also a reseller. So I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you can do both businesses as as different options. I mean, you can have different cards and stuff like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing YouTube as a YouTuber and then also doing reselling. The two don't have to meet, or they can actually be, complementary of each other. So
Yeah, on the card, I mentioned clean out storage units, flea market flips, estate finds, but I do mention that I sell on eBay and Amazon. And I mentioned my YouTube channel, and one of the reasons is because I want people. I mean, I met all you guys through YouTube. I didn't meet you guys in a sense through reselling, but I've learned from people like yourself. I mean, I've met Jason, and I've been kind of searching for stuff that. Let's face it, you can only get so much at the Goodwill. I mean, there's days you walk into Goodwill, there's nothing there, and Jason proves the point that you don't need to go to the Goodwill, Pat. No, Paul, that's fine. I just want to be open and honest and answer the question. I didn't take it the wrong way. I'm just being open and honest with you that it's both. And, I clearly want to be the guy, to be honest, that does sort of like American Pickers, where I travel and do, eBay, but then I do Amazon a little on the side. But I also want to interview and meet people such as Eric and Jason and Craig and talk to them. And, hey, what are you doing? And if they take the time and want to share their story and do YouTube footage with me, I think it helps other people to learn. And it kind of opens an eye up into what people are doing in this country to make a living without going to a 9 to 5. So that's sort of my niche that I want to be on YouTube. What I do.
Yeah, there's something to learn from everybody.
Well, and I like.
And it doesn't have to be new information.
Right.
Mm-hmm. You know how many people are stuck? They don't know what to do as far as making money, and there is a common theme I noticed that people are, let's say, in their 40s or 50s, and they lost a job or they had a health issue, such as myself. And they're like, well, what can I do to start a business? And I mean, eBay is one of the reselling businesses that you could start. You don't have to go to your city and get a license. You don't have to go to college. Just get a little knowledge, get a little about certain things you can buy and flip, and you're in business. And that's I think is amazing. And what I like about it is the freedom. I mean, I went to my son's last year, a couple days ago, senior night, and it was so great to be able to go there. And my youngest son, Joshua, accomplished something that I didn't accomplish, my wife didn't accomplish, and my other son didn't accomplish. He went there, he got honored, he got a plaque for science and technology, and received 2 scholarships. And that was I would have been able to know that.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
Craig, what is your AOL going down?
Do what?
Is your AOL going down over there? What's up?
My CompuServe session expired.
Better stop using that Netscape Navigator and switch over, man.
No, I'm on my Atari 400, and I had to rewind the tape so I could get to the.
Yeah. That's the problem. That's the problem when you use Prodigy as an internet service. So.
Yep.
I thought they shut off the nursing home.
No, not yet. My internet.
I thought maybe my long answer there, I get busted. My chops get busted with my long answer sometimes. That Craig fell asleep.
Craig, just for the record, how old are you actually?
65.
Whatever.
Oh, Craig, yeah.
I'm not drawing Social Security yet.
He's probably like 43.
Whatever. I will be 50 in August.
Oh, geez, so we're the same age.
Wow, that means I'm the oldest guy on the panel.
Yes, you are, Eric.
Success.
Was my footage bad? It says the guy thinks I'm on. I thought was I get lagging? Was it lagging or no?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's funny because people sometimes will say that, and I watch what we're watching, and sometimes what you need to do is reload the page, and also change the setting on the YouTube, where a lot of times I'll see that when I watch other people's show. Like right now it says 480. Sometimes it'll say 144. Click that quality key and change it to the 720, and you'll see the picture will clear up. And I think sometimes it's a YouTube lagging issue. It's nothing on my part, because people don't realize when we do Google Hangouts, YouTube is delayed by 7-8 seconds. So I think it's more of a YouTube issue.
Yeah, that is the key. I mean, YouTube definitely is, from what we see live when we're in this hangout together, it is a little bit of delay on what the audience sees.
Right.
So sometimes when you say, "Hey, what was that? That was a weird echo," we're like, "I don't know," because it's like 8 or 10 seconds ago. So yeah, it kind of is what it's like. So, yeah, he says, D in the box says, "I'm on Fiverr on the box. It's feedback on Pat's mic," but I'm not hearing any feedback on Pat's mic.
No, I'm not either. So, and to be honest, I have the newest. So, but I do.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a pretty nice microphone. I got a decent camera. I mean, so I don't know, oftentimes I don't hear it, but it just kind of depends on what you're listening to.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, eBay is one of the few jobs that you can do with really no training.
Right.
YouTube is great for learning different things, but it's more of a you kind of have to figure out what's the best thing in your area to buy, because there's a lot of areas that just you can't find the stuff that I find. I can't find the stuff that Jason finds. And that's fine, because I find different stuff. I also drive to his area and buy his stuff, but the Crazy Card I know does really well with storage units down in his area, because he gets them really cheap and does really well with stuff. It's just you buy what you want, but it's a great business for somebody who's never run a business on their own. But it's a business, and you have to run it like a business. You can't just do it unless you want to do it as a hobby, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to make a living at it, like most of us here on the panel do, you got to be smart about it. You got to run it like a business, and be smart with your money, and buy right, sell right. Don't overextend yourself. I mean, it's not hard to do, but it's hard to be disciplined sometimes.
Yeah. And you mentioned, little to no education. Education in this field is very cheap.
Oh yeah.
You're looking at education right now. But I'm saying,
Oh, education wise, I don't even have a GED. I mean, I have nothing.
I'm just talking about it in this business. You can watch YouTube and get all the education you need.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wish. I mean, I've been selling on eBay since 1996, 97, something around there. I never did it as full time until 2014. I was always more interested in the corporate life and doing the corporate world and going through and build my career, and just kind of strive for that next corporate ladder. And I was making $60,000 a year, and I had a company car and was doing all that type of stuff. And I wish that the entire time I'm doing eBay, and I'm making $10,000-$15,000 a year on eBay, and I'm like, I never once got into my head that I could do this as a living. Until I decided that I had to, until my life situation switched around to where I had to make it as a living. And I never even thought about making it. And I was selling, I sold $30,000 in 1998 one year. I had great buys. Kmart was going out of business, and I worked for Kmart at the time, and I bought a lot of the stuff they were closing out and got great deals on it, and I flipped it onto eBay and just made tons of money. And it never even clicked in my head, wow, you can do this for a living. And if I'd done that back then, I mean, think about Amazon back in the 1990s, when it was brand new and they were just doing books and then media, and I could have been an Amazon seller back then and no problem. I just never thought about doing it. And I don't do Amazon now because I concentrate too much on eBay. I'd rather do eBay than Amazon. But yeah, just the missed opportunities. But if you haven't done it yet, start now, because the sooner you start, the better off you are.
So, Anita, what you drinking over there? Anything good?
I'm done. It's sangria.
Oh, yeah, awesome. I love that stuff. It must be really good over there in California, though.
Well, it's only like 10:30 or 11:30. What time is
hot
it?
here.
It's only 10:30 in
10:30
California.
here. Yeah, 10:30.
Mm.
Did Pat mute himself?
What was that, dear?
Pat muted himself.
I think Pat muted himself.
Yeah, he's muted. I don't know if he realizes he's muted, but.
No, I muted myself because someone was saying that my microphone was acting, so I wanted to see, I don't want to screw up the chat here, so I gotta.
I didn't hear any difference.
I haven't heard a single problem with it. So
And Anita wanted me to sing, but I said no. It's 1:30 in the morning. I'm not singing.
No, please don't.
Well, if you want to sing, you can sing "Happy Birthday" to Particles. It's his birthday today.
Oh, wait.
Is it his birthday?
No.
It is on California time.
I ran out of blackberry whiskey, so now I'm starting the Johnny Walker. So
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Be very
Oh, it's
afraid.
Steve's birthday.
I cut it a little bit with some lemon lime seltzer though. So I'm out of lemon lime soda. But.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dave, it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Ooh.
Happy birthday!
Yep.
Best wishes.
Birthday, D.
May all your wishes come true.
I was on her show yesterday for about 20 minutes over lunch, and she gave away a prize of a box of nothing, I think it was, or random box. And I was looking for a lunch date with her, but borderline hoarderish, Kimberly had won it. I said it was probably fixed that they weren't going to let a guy win, but oh well.
Oh, so she's saying not until Monday. So Monday is her birthday.
Well, that's okay. We're not going to.
Close
Banana
enough.
Pines is not going to be here Monday. He's going down to Florida for a week.
Better,
I'm like, where am I going?
better to be early than late.
Oh. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, someone approved that. That was funny.
D. Oh my gosh.
Right into Pat Love.
Yeah. And I wanted to go for a lunch date with you. What happened?
Where is FP located at?
I don't know.
You're only on their show. You know.
I mean, we're pretty much nationwide here. I mean, we got the East Coast, got the South, Midwest. I mean, West Coast.
Actually, yeah, we're all over the map when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
You all made dogs bark.
Hey, Anita, are you
Michigan, okay.
West
That's
Miami.
right.
Are you by
Yes.
the coast, Anita?
No, it's Southern California.
Oh, Southern.
Mhm.
What part of Southern California? Where are you close to?
Glendale. I don't know if you know where Burbank is. That's like where Burbank Airport is.
Yeah.
It's about 10 to 15 minutes away from me.
I was born in Santa Barbara County.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been
Vandenberg Air Force Base is where I was born at. So
I've been in California since I was 4.
Wow.
yeah, I've lived in Ohio off and on since I was 8. I mean, I've traveled a little bit of the country. I lived in Arkansas for a while, in West Virginia for a while, and a few other places.
Buena Park.
The crazy car here in Maryland, I'm so sorry. Although you have great auctions around where you're at. I was actually talking to another friend online, and they're in Maryland as well. And Maryland has access to some wonderful auctions. Emmitsburg, Maryland, check it out every Sunday. Great auction up there.
Wait, Maryland, isn't that the one with that big furniture auction that they do in the field?
Emmitsburg is where they literally, this company goes out and they buy storage units, and that's all they do is they buy storage units, and they buy 20, 30 a week, and then they take the stuff up to their site, and it's a big field, and they have tables set out, and they literally just dump the stuff out on tables. They pick out some of the higher end stuff they recognize as being really good, and they sell it on an inside auction, and furniture and stuff like that, and then they put everything else, and they put it out there, and they throw tarps over it, rain or sunshine, they sell it. I mean, I've never been there, and I'd never been there once and didn't come home with a van full of stuff. I don't think I spent more than $200.
Yeah.
So Emmitsburg, Maryland is right on the Maryland Pennsylvania line. Known for their fire museum, that's what they're known for, is Emmitsburg. But get up there and check it out on Sundays. I loved Arkansas. Peddling Profits asked me how do I like Arkansas. I loved Arkansas. It was one of the most friendliest places I've ever been. I lived north of Little Rock. I lived in what's called Cabot, Arkansas, and it was fantastic living there. I only lived there for about a year and a half. The company I worked for went out of business, and Oh, the crazy part goes to I used to go to Emmitsburg every Sunday. That was my one of my main haul places, and I used to make tons of money off of Emmitsburg. And I was working a full-time job at the same time. And my wife and I would drive to Emmitsburg. We'd get there at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'd get done by 1:30, 2 o'clock. Come home and have just a van full. And I would take most of that stuff, and I wasn't selling as much on eBay. I would flip it to a local auction. And I would take the good stuff and put it into my local higher dollar auction, and I'd make tons of money. I'd put it into my antique booth, and then I'd sell the stuff online. I mean, it's fantastic. Emmitsburg is great. And then I'd go up into Martinsburg. There's Patriot Auction House in Martinsburg. You're upside down, Craig.
I'm trying to switch to my phone. My computer's.
Well, turn your phone the other way because it's freaking me out.
Yeah, we don't want to see that angle. Hey, Anita, you live real close to the Jackie and Sarah?
Yeah. Yes.
Wouldn't it be cool? I think it'd be cool.
I was just saying that we should hang.
That'd be cool to get you dumpster diving, like dumpster diving 101.
No, I honestly don't want to see Anita dumpster diving, actually.
I fall in the dumpster.
It would be so outside of the norm because, that's what would make it special. People would tune in to see Anita. Maybe she'd probably do one of the dumpsters and get, maybe get hooked.
They need to do it like a training class.
Exactly.
Right. Dumpster dive training.
I'm not a big dumpster person. I don't think I could go there. The crazy Westminster auction in Maryland is interesting. It's a very tiny place, and it was very crowded and crazy. And if you wanted to buy jewelry there, you literally had to fight off like 40 little old ladies who were crowded around the jewelry counter. You couldn't even see what they were selling out at the time. It was hilarious, but good stuff.
She said Jackie's gonna teach me her famous ninja flip.
Is that where is the ninja flip where you reach in a little bit too far and suddenly you're inside the dumpster?
Well, we're gonna learn it now.
I think she's got that name trademarked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been one for dumpster diving. It's just, and there's good money in it. Now, like I worked at Ollie's, and we would throw stuff away in the dumpster, but we would paint and destroy everything that went in the dumpster. Just one of our rules. I used to be, Tommy. I used to be in Maryland. I live in Ohio now, but I used to live in Martinsville, West Virginia, a little bit south of that, in Wood, West Virginia, technically. And I worked out of Baltimore. So
here, most of the bigger like stores here, in their dumpsters, what they do is, like you said, they spray paint the stuff that they put in.
Yeah, we used to spray paint everything, cut the cords on anything electronic. Yeah. Ollie's was set up because a lot of our stuff was reconditioned, things like that. So you couldn't always tell if somebody was bringing something back. So we just had to make sure that nobody could bring it back. One of the rules, one of my rules is when I pulled up to a store, first thing I checked was the dumpster to make sure they were following that policy.
Yeah.
Well, it was just to combat refund fraud. It wasn't because something else.
In our area, a lot of the bigger like Walmarts, Targets, they have compactors attached right to the building. You can't even get in the dumpster.
Yeah.
You want to do which I did a dumpster video about a month ago, but it was in a smaller town with a smaller. Craig, why are we seeing two of you?
Why are we seeing double Craig?
Because one's not enough.
Yeah, but we've
seen there you go.
How many accounts do you have? You have one named Craig, one named Landshark.
The same account. I went from my computer to my phone so I could reboot my computer.
One named Picker,
Whatever.
Yeah, but that's the East Coast. I mean, he's talking about how the whole DC, Baltimore, Philadelphia area. I mean, Jason lives in the Philadelphia market. I mean, it's just insanely good for auctions, estate sales, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. It's just an older part of the country, and that's kind of where you end up with. And a lot of the stuff that Jason likes to buy didn't make it out west because it was industrial, it's machine tools, things like that, and that stuff just never made it out west. So it's concentrated in his area. I don't even have the stuff that Jason has. I've got a part of it, but I don't have as much as he does. So, I mean, where you're in, what part of the country you're in can make a big difference in what you're buying. You just never know what you're going to find. I mean, I would imagine that out in California, the vintage computer industry is fantastic. But not so much out where I'm at or where Jason's at even. I mean, Jason gets great deals, but I imagine out in California, that's Silicon Valley, the whole 9 yards. I mean, it'd be pretty good. Fortnite killing the internet. Yep. That's why you got to have good internet so you can afford
that.
Or you have to get 2 lines coming in.
Yeah, Craig, you better talk to the supervisors over there.
Yep.
See if they can help you out.
Yeah, when they're splitting that between what? How many people? How many patients are on your floor?
We've got 5 people in this house.
Oh, there's only 5 on your floor?
That's it. We're a single floor facility.
Well, no, the nursing home that we have locally, there's usually about 40 on a unit, and then they have 41 unit. So I thought maybe they ran 1 line to the 40 unit, but you're chopping your.
That's not the way we roll in Alabama.
Oh, okay. Well, this is why I'm learning. I got to learn so when I come down and visit you what the rules are and what the visitation.
I used to go to
Visitation
Alabama.
hours and what you can do.
When I lived in Arkansas, I used to travel to Alabama about once every 3 weeks. I had a store down in Auburn, Alabama, and used to go down there and check it out. And I loved Auburn; it was a beautiful town. Then I'd go over to Noonan, Georgia, and then drive back to Little Rock. And
I'm about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours north of Auburn.
yeah, I used to drive through because I come down through Nashville, and then I'd take I think it's 72 or whatever it is, it's straight down to kind of. They were working on it at the time. I think it's all done now, but it just kind of cut the state in half, and then drive down through Birmingham, hit that crappy traffic, and then drive over to Auburn, and then I'd go hit Noonan, and then come across. And a lot of times I'd have to go up and hit Richmond, Kentucky. I had a store in Richmond, Kentucky, and Richmond, Indiana. So I used to have like 23 stores in 7 states. It sucked. I mean, it was just terrible driving. But
hey, Craig, the audience is asking what your visiting hours are.
You can't be here after dark.
What time does it get dark down there?
What?
What time does it get dark? 9 o'clock?
now,
Huh? What?
Hey,
What'd you
Craig,
say?
what time does it get dark down there? 9 o'clock, bud?
Speak up. I can't hear you.
9 o'clock.
My ears must be going bad.
What are the hours?
You can't be here after dark.
Yeah.
Hey,
Daylight on.
Craig, have you ever met any YouTubers in person?
I ran into one guy at a yard sale, Thrifty Dad. I think he was maybe in the chat earlier.
Oh yeah.
He was.
And then Andy Good that was on our live the other day. He's from about an hour or so outside of Birmingham.
it's always a little strange though when you get recognized for doing YouTube. I mean, I've been recognized at a couple of auctions I go to, and they're like, "Oh, you hang out with Dusty," or "Yeah, I've seen you on YouTube before." It's a little bit weird.
Yeah. How about you?
Especially if you don't expect it.
Who, me?
Anita, have you met any other YouTubers?
No one, but I'm about to.
I know. See, hanging out with the guys is pretty good. You're gonna hang out with all these women now.
Yeah, I don't know any YouTubers in California. Just the treasure hustlers.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm gonna get going in a couple.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
because I got to get up early.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up in a few minutes, I guess.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say goodbye, and I'll still watch the chat for a couple minutes inside the room. But thanks for having me on.
All right, Pat. We'll see you later.
Hi, Pat.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a
Have a
future
good night.
late night show one day, but I'll reach out to you guys.
Yep, just let us know. We got the chat.
All right, thank you.
Later, Pat.
Night.
See you, man.
There we go.
Excuse me.
I didn't realize Steve and Steph were out there. I've never paid attention.
Oh, they are?
Oh, that's right. Chris, Thrift Shop Hustlers out there. Chris, Thrift Shop Hustlers from out there.
I mean, the only one that I know that does a lot of videos is Liquidation Ohio. He's on the other side of the city from me, but I mean, we haven't run into each other. He's more Amazon than eBay. So, but yeah, I mean, I hang out with Scott, and when Scott comes to town, we meet up, and like I said, I've been on vacation with Scott and Dusty and Jason. So I mean, you make friends on YouTube. You make find out your local people, and this is truly one of the few businesses not very cutthroat. I don't think. I mean, I've never been in a situation where someone was like, "Oh, I know you sell on eBay. I'm gonna bid you up," or anything like that at an auction. It's more of a helping type of business than anything.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I bid you up often.
Which Chris? Liquidation, Ohio?
Ohio's
Liquidation, Ohio.
He's in California.
He lives on the other side of the city from me. He lives in Columbus as well. He's in Hilliard, which is on the west side. I'm on the east side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know other than Pat, It's my phone. Sorry.
Sweet.
There's a good number of people in Ohio.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mr. Sash said he was from Ohio. There's a couple other people. He's down in southern Ohio. I'm drawing Steve Alcorn's up in northern Ohio. So I mean, there's a few people that I could meet up with. We talk about different YouTubers. Jason T. Smith, his mother, he's from Ohio. His mother is in Ohio. I'm actually in one of their Facebook groups. I mean, so she does her own videos as well. I mean, yeah, there's decent money in Ohio. I mean, there's definitely enough to go around for everybody.
Yeah, and there's no money in PA though.
Yeah, no, PA is terrible. I mean, that's why I drive to there about once every 2 or 3 months.
All the money in Alabama is already spoken for.
That's right. In fact, from what I hear, all the resellers are moving over to like Alabama, aren't they, Craig?
Moving where?
By you.
They're moving where?
I think they're moving northern Alabama though.
Yep. They're going to attack Scott.
I think it's fun to meet other YouTubers where you live, to go meet them and hang out with them. It'll be fun.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. This is a soul type job where you basically work in your basement all the time, and then when you finally meet somebody who does the same thing as you, it's kind of cool.
Oh no, my chat froze up.
It's kind of nice to be able to talk business with somebody who actually understands your business.
Right.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's truly like a lonely job. Before YouTube, geez, I just talk to myself all the time.
You got pretty good at that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not committed like you.
Before YouTube, I used to watch TV.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, Jason used to say he had his whole office set up so he could watch movies while he did work. So
exactly, I'd watch movies all the time.
Yeah. Now we don't have time. We don't have time.
Always in Hangouts,
Mm-hmm.
So
always in the Hangouts, or either we're in the Hangouts, or we're listing, or we're shipping, or we're watching the ones that we already missed.
Well, we kind of do all those at the same time. We're in a Hangout, we're listing and shipping, and sometimes we're even watching YouTube at the same time. So,
yep. And Craig always has company at the communal table.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
They dispense the pills at 2 and 7.
What's everybody doing tomorrow? I'm going to an auction tomorrow. So
you know quite a bit about this place.
I am picking up some stuff I bought on Marketplace tomorrow. Some vintage computer stuff.
Anita?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow's my day off.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm visiting relatives.
That's good. Okay. Relatives are always great for free stuff. They always like to give you stuff they want you to sell because they think it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah. Tomorrow I usually take Sundays off. I don't do anything. I just take the kids to either my mom's or one of our cousins or some one relative that I haven't seen in weeks.
That's good. Time for yourself.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Greg, what are you doing tomorrow?
Not sure. Church in the morning. Not sure what we'll do in the afternoon. The only plans, I've got about 5 or 6 orders I need to ship. I didn't do them today.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was arts and crafts at the nursing home.
Whatever.
Edith's got to get it. That's awesome.
Y'all are just jealous because you don't get waited on hand, all the time.
We're so bad.
Oh man! All right, I guess we'll call it a night.
Good night, everyone.
All right, good night,
All right,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks,
Have a
buddy.
good night.
Here, it's always a pleasure to entertain you.
Make sure you like and subscribe to everybody on the panel. And really, if you
Yep.
see them in the chat, like and subscribe to them as well. You can just do it by hitting the three dots next to somebody's name. Make sure everybody posts in the side chat to get their go to the three dots on the side and subscribe. Hit the like button, please. Jason's not monetized or anything like that. I'm not monetized. I mean, we're trying to build channels, so we appreciate any help there.
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. I guess it's my turn to hit the button, right?
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you can surprise us with the off button like you did with the live button. So
Got it. All right. Good night, everyone.